333 is an angel number and one of the most significant ones you can receive during a spiritual awakening. It means something in you is expanding, and the Ascended Masters have specifically responded to something you put out. And here's what makes 333 specifically different from other angel numbers like 444 or 111. It's not just telling you you're protected or on the right path. It's a direct response. Something you sent out was received. And now something is actively pushing back, asking you to create, express, and use whatever you've been given. But here's what most people miss. 333 doesn't only show up when things are going well. Sometimes it does show up when you're in the uncomfortable middle. The place that feels like being lost, but is actually just growth that hasn't named itself yet. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where in that process you are and what is being asked of you right now. Quick note before we start. If you found this video right after seeing 333, that's not a coincidence. That is the mechanism working in real life. 333 put you exactly here. If you've been on a spiritual awakening journey or just starting to notice signs, synchronicities, and meaningful coincidences showing up in your life, 333 is one of the clearest confirmation you can receive. We're just catching the rest of you up. Here's how it works. 3 meanings, a Trinity check, and then at the end you pick your Ascended Master. That's where we'll find out what 333 means specifically for you right now. So stay until the end, that part is the whole point. Meaning 1, the Ascended Masters responded to you. Here's the layer most angel numbers videos skip, because it's the most specific one. 333 isn't just a good omen, it's a response. The number 3 carries the frequency of the Ascended Masters, the great teachers, healers, and guides whose energy stayed behind to keep working after they left. Christ, Buddha, Kuan Yin, the lineages that didn't close when the physical form did. 3 trees means the presence is tripled. But more than that, it means something you sent out qualified for a direct response. In spiritual awakening, one of the first things that shifts is your ability to send and receive, to put out energy consciously and recognize when something responds. 333 is that response made visible. A question you've been sitting with, a prayer, a moment of complete honesty with yourself. 333 is the confirmation that landed. The question worth sitting with is, what did you send out recently? And what have you been quietly hoping for? Because something in that qualified. Stay with me because meaning 2 is the one most people feel personally caught out by. Meaning 2, your creative expression is being pushed out. In numerology, 3 is the number of expression, communication, creativity, and voice. 3 of them means the pressure has tripled. If you've been sitting on something, an idea, a project, a way of seeing the world that you haven't put out yet, 333 is not being subtle, it's a push. And here's the thing, the joke is that this signal almost always arrives at the exact moment you're most convinced that nobody needs what you have to say, or that what you're making isn't ready yet, or that you should probably wait until the conditions are more ideal. 333 disagrees with that assessment entirely. Creative expression isn't valuable because it's perfect. It's valuable because it's out there. It's valuable because people around you need it as well. The version that exists only in your head is not doing anything for anyone, including yourself. So here's the real question, and sit with this honestly. What action are you not taking right now that is keeping your creative expression locked inside you? The thing you kept calling not ready yet. That's what 333 is pointing at. Meaning 3, you are mid-becoming. Something in the process of forming. This is the meaning that explains why 333 sometimes feels more uncomfortable than reassuring. 333 shows up when you are in the uncomfortable middle of something new. Here's what that actually looks like in real life, and tell me if this sounds familiar. You left something behind, maybe a job, a relationship, a version of yourself that no longer fits. Or maybe something shifted inside you, the way you see things, what you want, what you're no longer willing to accept. But the new thing, the new chapter, the new version of you hasn't fully arrived yet. So right now you're in that in-between. The old thing is gone or going. The new thing isn't here yet. What's that space in between? It feels like being lost. It feels like confusion. It feels like, what am I even doing? But it isn't lost, it's becoming. The caterpillar doesn't know it's becoming a butterfly. It just knows that it dissolved, and that dissolution is the process, not a sign it went wrong. Triple Tree is not asking you to resolve this faster. It's confirming that what you are feeling is exactly right. The discomfort is the becoming. The confusion is the growth that hasn't named itself yet. You're not lost, you're mid-becoming, even if it doesn't feel that way at 2 a.m. Before the signal, a quick check. This one takes 30 seconds and it matters because 3 is the number of the Trinity: mind, body, spirit. Triple Tree often arrives when one of those trees had gone quietly offline. In spiritual awakening, one of the three sometimes fall behind. The mind races ahead, the body gets neglected, or the spirit gets treated like a weekend hobby. Ask yourself which one it is right now. Is it the mind that hasn't stopped thinking long enough to feel anything? Is it the body that hasn't been moved, fed, or rested properly? Or is it the spirit that has been skipped entirely in favor of productivity and output? You probably already know. That's the one that needs your attention first before anything else in this video can fully land. Before we close, this is the part that's specific to you. Signs are a form of divination and one of the oldest spiritual practices on earth. Whether you're early in your awakening or deep in it, this is where we find what's specifically active for you right now. Divination works through intention, so before I show you the masters, take one breath and ask internally, what is Triple Tree trying to tell me right now? And notice which one you feel most drawn to. Have you chosen a symbol? If you've chosen the dove, you've chosen Yeshua, the purification signal. In this tradition, Jesus or Yeshua works with purification, clearing the energetic, emotional, and psychological weight that accumulates over time in your energy. Old wounds, unresolved pains, or negative attachments that no longer belong in your life that you're trying to create. If he called to you, Triple Tree is encouraging you to create, express, and move forward. But first, something within the vessel is asking to be cleared. Not because you are unworthy, but because you need to be bearing. What can you do today to clear your energy and vessel from any negative thoughts, any negative attachment, or even energetic parasites? If you pick the crown, you picked Mary Magdalene, the reclamation signal. Mary Magdalene knows what it is like to have your truth buried beneath expectation, judgment, and other people's story. If she called to you, there might be parts of your expression or life that are still edited, filtered, or seeking approval before they seek truth. Triple Tree is inviting you to reclaim the voice that existed before you learn to shrink it. This is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were before you forgot, and what would you create if you no longer needed permission. If you picked the blue diamond, it is the transformation signal. Kali is the fierce force of transformation, creation, and destruction. Her role is to remove what stands between you and your authentic power. If she called to you, a fear, attachment, a belief or identity may have reached its expiry date. Triple Tree is highlighting gifts that wants to emerge, but something old is still occupying the space they need. Kali's compassion is not always gentle. Sometimes love arrives as the courage to let something end, and transformation begins when you stop protecting what no longer serves you and your highest good. Isis. If you picked the feather, you picked Isis, the healing and soul purpose signal. Isis is known as the ascended physician, a guide of healing, restoration, and soul purpose. She appears when gifts are present, but something within still needs care, healing, or integration before those gifts can fully flow. If she called to you, Triple Tree is confirming that your creative and spiritual gifts are real. Yet there might be emotional wounds, old burdens, or forgotten parts of yourself that are still asking for attention. The healing is not here to make you worthy. The healing is here to make you remember what was always there. What becomes possible when you stop carrying what was never yours to hold. And now you have everything you need to answer the bigger question. You came here because Triple Tree kept showing up. Now that you know what it means, sit with this. Does this feel like something you're hearing for the first time? like a door just opening in your awareness. Then this is a new message. Something is beginning. Something you put out has been received and the response is here. Or does this feel familiar? The way things feel when you are deep in an awakening and the signs start confirming what you already sense is true. Then this is reconfirmation. The universe isn't trying to get your attention. It already has. This is saying keep going, you're not lost, you're mid-becoming. So take a breath and set one intention today. I hear you, universe. I'm not done becoming and I'm paying attention. Please communicate with me. Now, drop your emojis in the comments and tell me, is this a new message or a reconfirmation? By the way, you're not crazy, you're just finally paying attention.